Alright, welcome to Talking with Spirits, the lonely episode. So, we weren't going to do one this week, but I decided we should, or I should. We went to a private investigation, a private house, last week, and it threw up a lot of questions. The owner was hearing noises, getting woken up by noises. Things were moving around, so we said, yeah, we'll check it out, and we camped out overnight, set up all the equipment, and we caught absolutely nothing. Now, here's a conundrum. You have to decide, are you in it to make a video, or are you actually doing the job? So there were a couple of things that we found but later explained. Now, we could have put together a pretty good video of us running around in the dark going, what was that? Catching noises, having startled expressions, because there were a couple of them. However, it would have been disingenuous. The other thing is, when we go to places like Edinburgh, we take it on face value that it's haunted. And we'll go in, and if we can't explain it, you know, that's the legacy. It's supposed to be haunted, that's why you go there and see what you can catch. I've decided, when you go to someone's place where they live, you have to go in the other way around, I think, because there are consequences. If you go in saying, okay, it's probably not haunted, and then you track down every noise, whatever it is you get, because unless you actually find something, there are going to be consequences. If there's a family living there and they got children, and I mean, that's kind of heavy. So the noises we found, we tracked down. There was a sump pump running. There was something else running in irregular intervals, or sometimes even at regular intervals. You'd hear knocking, bangings. As far as anything moving, we didn't catch any of that. Now, here's the other thing. It's very hard to prove a negative. So, you know, the place could be haunted, and just nothing happened that night we were there, and we're more than willing to go back. My advice to the owner was, look, when you hear these things, write them down, what time it was, where you were, how many people in the house, day of the week, all these things. See if we can get a pattern going. You know, who's in the house, because if they exist, you know, poltergeist activity is usually around an adolescent, prepubescent child. So, you know, if it only happens when that child's in the house, hey, you know, that's something you can look at. But, you know, it's tough, and it made me think deeper about a lot of the videos that are done under ghost hunting. I guess I read an article where you have to decide, are you investigating paranormal or are you ghost hunting? Because they are not the same thing. Ghost hunters go with the premise that, yes, there is a ghost there. And I guess when we go to Edinburgh, that is what we do. But if, you know, paranormal, you try and find a mundane answer for things that are happening first and foremost, because the chances are that's what's happening. I understand the big ghost hunters that a lot of people watch, something happens everywhere they go, and they're in it to make a show. It'd be really boring if you sat there for 60 minutes watching in a dark video of absolutely nothing happening. Which will lead me to my other point later on about equipment. Now, there's a couple of other things that we could do that are used by other shows or other groups, and we could get a lot of footage of, let's say, a medium that goes in. I'm not knocking all mediums, you know, believe there's something in it. I just don't believe every medium. And it would be very easy to have a medium go through the house explaining all kinds of things. What she felt, all this anguish here, I'm getting the name of whatever. A lot of filler there. One thing we did do, and I was playing with, do we push out a video with just that on it, is the spirit box, which will go into my point later as well. But you know, we had words come through on the spirit box, not as often, I'll have to say, as other places we've been, but you know, you can sit there and you can say, oh wait a minute, here look, there's an answer to the question, ergo there must be something here. I think it's just the rule of averages. I mean, if you sit in front of the spirit box long enough asking questions, you are going to get hits. I always go from how many are we getting and how many actually are proper answers that tie into the place we're at. So, you know, I heard on the spirit box a voice saying, I am dead. Well, you know, I could get that anywhere, but, you know, put it this way, if the place was haunted, it was so latent and non-malevolent that for all intents and purposes of living there, it really wasn't about as much impact as a mouse running around making noises. So, you know, there's no way we're gonna do a nice video with all the spooky stuff, a medium, all the glitzy lights going off and going, ooh, because then the owner's gonna see that video, in his head his house is definitely going to be haunted, and that's going to have repercussions. So, you know, we love doing private investigations, but you know, if anybody has us do a private investigation and we say we're not going to make a song and dance about it, you know, we'll tell you what we find, and if we don't find anything, that's exactly what we're going to tell you. So we'll give you our impression for what it's worth. We're not mediums or anything, but the other thing that became clear to me about, on the question of do we make a video, don't we make a video, and it's something that I've hinted at, I think, if I haven't outright said it, but a lot of this equipment that gets used and gets popular, you know, on the ghost hunting shows, like the KT meters and all that stuff, looks good on camera. But I'm just not sold on it. I mean, the one I hated the most was the spirit box, and that's the only one where I'm still on the fence with. We've had nothing with EMF meters, you know, K2 meters, or we even got a proper EMF meter, scientific one that does all 3 axes and is calibrated, you know, not just a plastic box with pretty lights that blink, that can be set off by anything. So when you look at this and you start to think, okay, now there are people in this to make videos and make money, and they will use equipment where the equipment makers are in it to make money. I mean, I understand what we do is pseudoscience, but I mean, we understand it's pseudoscience because we got, you know, nothing else to fall back on. So we don't have a university grant and getting in proper equipment. We get what's available at a specific price. So we had a remark on one of our videos on Facebook of someone saying, I wish there was more activity. Well, so do we. And by activity, if you mean things happening that are unexplainable, that's great, that's what we're there for. But you know, we are not going to add that to make our videos more interesting. If you mean I wish there was more activity of us running around in the dark shouting, what was that, what was that, that's probably only going to happen when we actually hear something. I mean, it's very easy to stage that stuff, and when you're staking a place out, it's a long night. I don't have to work that hard creating something out of nothing. If nothing happens, then I'm good with that, you know, because it's real. What I don't like, and I can tell the ones on TV or on YouTube channels that are not real, and you know, it's unfortunate. Once again, we come back to the conundrum of, it's something in your face did happen to us, and we caught it on camera and on sound and stuff, and we've had some stuff happen. The thing is, the better you capture it, the less believable it is, because people are just going to go, no, that's too good, it's been edited in and blah blah blah. So, you know, it's the only thing we can do is try and stay on the straight and narrow. We don't worry. I mean, we'd like to have lots of views, but we don't really worry about the views that much. We enjoy making the videos, we enjoy going to these places. Making these videos is just really the icing on the cake. I mean, we can go and experience that, but it's nice for us to put it all together in a video. It helps us process what happened and all that good stuff, and leave a record of what happened when we were there. So we'll look at it and compare stuff, and it's a record for us. It's all condensed in, because there's a lot of downtime when you're on these things, which is another thing you don't see on the TV, you know. So they compact, what, how long are they there, what, 12 hours maybe, down into 40 minutes, you know. So that's 40 minutes of running around going, what was that, and, you know, which is what we do, so we don't get any 40 minutes out of it because we don't add anything. So at best we put together what we've got, and for those of you who want more activity, you know, apologize. But, you know, for those of you that are interested in, okay, how did that one go, in a more believable manner, well, you guys, wherever they are anyway. Oh, by the way, we got green screen Mark 2, so I don't know what you're going to see behind me, but hopefully it'll be better than the last attempt. On the subject of the spirit box, me and Jeff are going to go up to Marion, do a low-key stakeout, and then we're going to use the spirit box pretty extensively, and we're going to actually mark out how many questions we ask to how many responses we get. Now, we're not expecting a response to every question, but the way we work it with a spirit box is, you know, we don't count random stuff in the middle. We ask a question, we leave a decent amount of time, and there's got to be a response in there that has to do with the question that we ask. So, you know, I'm still on the fence with it. It's kind of like, you know, seeing shapes in clouds with your ears, you know. So if we just let it run, we could pick things out and have a big long list of stuff that we picked up on the spirit box. You know, what we're trying to do is narrow it down, saying, okay, we ask 100 questions. You know, if you get 10 to 25 answers that are relevant to those questions, it starts being a bit more meaningful than if you're getting, you know, 20 to 50 random noises, or noises after a question that really don't even pertain to the question. You know, I've seen shows where they say, you know, something like, you know, did you used to live here, and they'll pick the name Stephen, and then there you go, they'll take that as an answer, which it isn't, you know. So it's just they picked a word that they recognized out of the spirit box, had nothing to do with the question, but they'll take it and run with it. And then they'll start running around the house asking, okay, Stephen, when did you die? And things like that, when there probably wasn't even a Stephen that lived there. So, you know, that's how we manage it. And I want to go further with it. I want to test that in different locations and actually keep a running record. So, you know, some places you're going to get nothing or a small percentage. Some places you're going to get, you know, get it light up. And the other thing is, the longer that response is, for example, for those of you that remember when we had our camera broken, we asked the spirit box, did you break our cameras? And we got, we are hiding. Now, it was snippets together, but it was very clearly we are hiding. And to me, you know, that's, what are the odds of that? So, you know, things like that, you know, weight the odds in favor or against. So, still on the fence with it, but it's the only thing that we actually have had, if they're true, meaningful results out of. You know, the EVPs, that's the other one. The recordings, we've had a good hit with those too. Those to me are just echo hauntings. we're picking up, but that's just my opinion. Farrar was a big one. We had 2 EVPs that sounded like a school happening, you know, a bit far away, but you know, that's what it sounded like, and there was no reason for those noises to be there. So those 2 things, and of course we'll keep the cameras going, but those 2 things we are going to continue to do. We've retired the little EMF mousetrap things, the ones with the antenna and the blue lights. They're absolute crud. You know, anybody thinking of getting them, don't. You know, other people swear blind they've had good results with them, but I mean, I couldn't get good results off of them doing normal stuff against, you know, power lines or whatever. I mean, you know, once again, it's a nice black piece of plastic with a blinky light, and so you all go, ooh, you know, when the camera's on it, and you know, it does it randomly. So, you know, you can fill in the gaps and go, oh, there's a ghost here, look, he moved from left to right. You know, it's just a tool for you to make a video and fill in the gaps. I'm not buying into that. We've looked at the Ovilus, you know, in whatever iteration you want to look at. I'm not buying into that either. The reason being is, okay, with radio waves, affecting radio waves, I can kind of see it. I'm still, like I say, I'm still on the fence with that. But then if you take all those sensors and the ghost has to manipulate all those sensors to get to an algorithm that then is in a database of words, I mean, how does the ghost even know what the algorithm is to pull that word out of the dictionary? You know, it's just, I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever as a communication tool. You know, and whether you believe they're ghosts, they're from energy or different dimensions, whatever is communicating, you know, for them to know the actual programming of that chip to pull that word out of that database, and, you know, if it is even tied to an algorithm from sensors, what those sensors have to produce that word. I mean, come on, it's got to be a long shot. You know, I'm more prepared to believe in a lot more fantastic things than that, you know. So no, not doing it. So I'll do an overview probably of our kit box, of what's still in it, in case it interests anybody. There's a lot of stuff's come out. There's a few things that have gone in. Once again, they've gone in for us to try it, and they're not, nothing in there is in there stable until we actually get some kind of result out of it that we can then sit and hum and haw over. You know, a lot of it was dead weight. Somebody asked me about the EMF booster things that are being sold now. You can pick them up anywhere from what, 60 bucks to 200, 300 bucks. So it's supposed to increase the EMF. I looked at one of those, what's inside. It's an electric motor with a magnet on the end. I'm not sure what the magnet on the end is supposed to do, because the electric motor is made of magnets that are spinning, and basically all it is an electric motor. And yes, it puts out an EMF field because the magnets are spinning and moving, and that's what the EMF's measuring. What a ghost is supposed to do with that, I have no idea. You know, and if you believe it might work, you know, okay, let's say the theory, it's not sound, but let's say that theory's sound, that's the energy they feed off. We bought a handheld fan, does the same thing. It's got a little motor in it that spins, and it cost me $6. So, you know, buy 10 of those and stick them on a piece of wood. I don't know, you know. It's going to produce more EMF than an EMF box. And you can still test the theory for a lot less money. Well, there's a guy on YouTube called Oscar, I can't remember his last name, but he's very good. And he's, you know, electrician, engineer, and he actually goes and takes the paranormal ghost hunting stuff apart and tries to figure out how that would work in real time, in real life. And he's a skeptic, so don't, if you're into this, which obviously we are, but you know, we're trying to bring it out of left field and back into the middle, I guess, maybe. We're not total skeptics, but it's educational just to watch a couple of those videos, and I will link one in the comments section for you guys to look at. If if you want to. It's very entertaining. Well, it makes me laugh, but sometimes that's easy to do. Anyway, didn't want to be a downer on the video. Just wanted to fill you chaps in, let you know where we stand. You know, and hopefully, you know, we will get enough viewers that are, you know, more rational and not totally, you know, crystals and, you know, pentagrams and stuff like that, but actually more interested in paranormal investigation, you know, than making a good video. Not saying all our videos are crap, but they're just not the ones like people like the ghost hunters make. So that's the way we roll, I'm afraid. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe, like, or ignore, whatever. So hopefully see you next time. Thanks for watching.